everyone. Welcome back to the class of BCAR. And today we will be doing resume writing. So first of all, how are you all doing? I hope the classes are doing well for you and you are taking the most of these classes. I see some of you have joined. I'm good, Ankita. Thank you. So today's class will be interesting because resume writing is something that is very important whenever we start with our professional careers. And that is one skill that we need to learn and we should know about it, irrespective of what profession we are in or what job or whatever we are doing, right? And if we plan to work with someone, if you plan to apply to some organization or look for a job, resume is very important, right? So we will be studying about that. What is resume, how it should be drafted, what are the do's and the don'ts when it comes to resume writing, how to create impression. This is what we will be doing today. Now, rules, which I always say: one, please ask me relevant questions related to what I am teaching, right? Second is, I keep reading your comments. If I'm asking you a question, please leave your comment and don't ask me and expect me to read each and every answer. I do read answers randomly and I discuss answers randomly, but do not expect me to take your name again and again. It's fine. I'm reading all the comments. I'm reading all the answers. Everything is reaching out to me, right? So don't send me one answer 5 times or 10 times. Don't keep entering the answer again and again. Okay. Second, I always ask you for the doubt. If there is any doubt, you can ask me. I wait for that. So if you ask me, I'll answer. But if I miss, then don't worry. Please, towards the end of the class, I will ask again. And if your query is missed, just type again. I'll answer. Am I clear? Are we clear, guys? And you know I'll ask a lot of questions. Yes. Now, in the layman term, what do you think? Should we start with the class or should we wait for others to join in for a minute or so? I'm good, Aisha. Thank you for asking. Okay, we should start the class. Now, in the random term or a layman term, what do you understand by resume? Okay, Shreya, that's a very layman, definition that yes, it's a formal document that shows an applicant's experience. Okay, what else? What else do you think is a resume tells you? education and professional brief text description, such as job, biodata introduction, details about candidate, document which shows personal experience, qualification for job purpose, good Surya. Resume writing is full qualification 10, 12, which board and experience in your communication skills. Identify the skills, it shows credentials. Okay, stop. All right, I've got the idea how much you understand resume. Now let me share my PPT with you. Okay. So resume is basically a very important document that introduces you, employer or the trainer, right, to whom you are trying to approach for the job or for the vacancy or for training purpose, whatever. So resume is basically that introduce you to the prospective person with whom you would like to work, right? So now this document basically tells who you are, what have you done, why they should hire you, right? And besides this, you tell about your personal details, where you live, and what's your phone number, what's your email ID, how the person can approach you. It also talks about your skills, what are you good at, right? So who you are, basically, that also tells that. What have you done? It tells about your education qualification, and if you have any prior professional experience or internship experience that they should do, that they get to know from resume, and why they should hire you, right? Whatever you're writing in your resume gives them an impression and tells them that if you are fit for the job or not, whatever vacancy that is out. Like, for example, you are, so there's a vacancy for a teacher, okay, for English teacher, and you have an experience of sports teacher, right? So your resume wouldn't match to the vacancy which is out. So your resume would tell that if you're fit for the position for the English teacher or not, right? And similarly, vice versa, if you're applying for a sports teacher, but your resume says that you have experience of teaching English prior, then it's again a misfit, right? So your resume basically tells the other person what kind of experience you have, what kind of education background you have, and if you are fit for this position or not, whether you are a fresher, whether you are experienced. I mean, they judge you from a lot of perspective. Am I clear? Are we clear, guys? Here? Still here? Any questions so far about what resume is? Somebody had asked me that what is the difference between resume and CV, right? It's a good question. You would like to explain you about resume first and then come on what CV is, right? Then you will have a better perspective about what CV is. Once you understand what resume is, there's a slight difference. There's not much difference. There's a slight difference. The only difference is the CVs are more detailed, right? So for example, in resume, if you mention that you have worked with so and so organization, and in 1 or 2 lines you explain what you have done with them. But CV is much more detailed. It goes on for like 2-3 pages, and it talks about what all you have done in detail about all your history, right? But resume is a very concise document. A good resume is the one which is 1 page long. That's it. Nobody has to turn the pages to find out what all you have done. So resume is a very concise. So which is why it requires a different skill set to write a resume, right? Because you have to write about everything. You have to create an impression You have to get a job, and you basically frame your resume according to what job you're applying for. And at the same time, you need to be concise. You need to be concise. Your resume should look neat and nice. And which is why so this is why we are doing this topic, right? And I always explain that why are we even discussing such things in business correspondence and reporting? Because these are all essentials. These everything matters, right? And we are basically trying to give you a gist of, so that something that you would uh, something that would be helpful for you for your life. This is not something, I always say that do not focus on just 40 marks paper. This is something that is going to help you in a very long run, right? So, I mean, of course, you need to get marks also, but then besides that, you have to basically learn this for your life. Okay, for your good professional career, you need to know these things. Am I clear? Now, resume need not know what is not required for the job. You don't have to add on extra information, just irrelevant for the job, right? So, for example, probably you got a prize in some junior school, all right? You got some, unless it is a nationals award or medal that you have achieved, that is something very different. That is your achievement for life. You can mention about it, but something which is was very at a school level, at a class level, you don't need to mention that in a resume, right? But yes, something at a state level, zonal level, national level, you are doing and achieving something extraordinary. Of course, that needs to go in your resume, because that shows so much about you, that speaks so much about you, right? That how good you are in what you are, right? And how disciplined you are, how much you can put in to achieve that kind of a thing. Not everybody can do it. So you definitely need to write about your achievements and present it in a way that helps you to get the job. Am I clear? That helps to get the attention of the employer. Are we clear? Any problem so far? Give me a second, please. Okay. So having said that, now your resume basically need to show and tell that you are suited for that job. You are suitable for that job. The job is meant for you, right? Because you need to showcase and tell the employer about the skill set you possess, about the knowledge you possess, about the understanding about your personality traits. Everything is essential for a job, right? Even if you're doing your own work, you need to have certain kind of skills. You need to have knowledge for that, whatever you are doing. You need to have an understanding of that job. And of course, you need to have personality traits for that. Personality traits, by what do we mean by personality traits? I mean, nobody's expecting you to be good looking for that, right? But then there are certain jobs for which you need to be good looking also. For example, probably you're applying for any to be a model in a modeling agency. You need to have a portfolio, you need to write something. Or maybe for these air hostess job, and air, I mean, there's certain in hotels, maybe they judge you on the basis of your looks also. But by personality traits, I mean that how good you are with your communication skills, how presentable you are, how smart you are, how disciplined you are when it comes to work, how punctual. These are all your personality traits that is required, right? If somebody hires you and you start coming late, right, so that means you are not punctual, right? And that makes you misfit for the job, right? You need to be disciplined and punctual for any job that you do, right? So basically, there are certain things that talks about your personality traits. right? So you need to showcase all of that. Having said all of that, you need to choose what you write in your resume wisely. Okay. Uh, Now, what does that statement mean? Any wrong thing can make you lose the opportunity to get into the eyes of the employer who's going to call you for the interview, right? So you need to choose what you write wisely, right? Each and every word. Now, for example, like I just said, that you are applying for a certain position, but your experience, your skills, and your knowledge and your traits talk about some other kind of a job role, right? So it's a misfit, right? You need to see where you are applying as per your experience. You cannot apply for everything that comes in the market, right? Of course, you have to choose and see that am I fit for this job? Do I have enough experience to, write it down in my resume so that I get the job, right? So, what I'm trying to say here is that whatever you write down, it has to be substantial. One, it should look like that you are trying for that job and you are fit for the job. Every line should actually basically give an impression that you want this job and you are right person for this job, right? Now present your resume in a manner that it allows prospective employer or trainer to evaluate it quickly. So it has to be very interestingly crafted so that somebody just quickly reads it. If somebody has to spend time on reading something, people lose interest, right? This is why employers prefer resume and not CV. They don't want to read the stories about what you did and what you not did. They want a very crisp thing. They don't have so much of time to go through 3 pages long CV, right? So this is why we craft and we draft resumes so that it's very quick to evaluate. Clear? Any problem still here? I'm going to wait for 2 minutes. If there's any problem, you can ask me now. Naveen, what does that mean? Have you watched some previous sessions? Yes, Ashish, you will get a question from resume writing. Definitely. Crew members, yes, Aditya. Have you guys done this chapter before? All right. So basically, this is what resume is, and this is the purpose of resume. So it is always said that you should not underestimate the power or underestimate what a resume can do. First impression is the last impression. Have you ever heard of that? Have you ever heard that first impression is the last impression? So this is what resume do for you. Resume basically, oh, okay, okay, Aisha, I was not aware of that. But this was not completed, right? This chapter was not completed. Okay, okay, never mind. That's good. It's going to be a good practice or division for you for all the things that ma'am has done with you earlier. So we'll just repeat it and then we'll move ahead, right? All right. All right, guys. Thank you. I got it. Uh, Without resume, there is no job that you can apply for. Okay, all the good, skilled jobs, you need to apply resume. I mean, like all the, jobs where there is requirement. Nishit, okay, that's a very quick question. So Nishit asks me that if we write wrong things in our resume and the qualification we don't have, you need to be beware of writing wrong things in your resume. Okay, I'll tell you why. Uh, One, whatever you write in your resume, it is always cross-checked in the interview. So, your questions will be based on what you write, what you've written in the resume, right? And a lot of people do this, they write wrong things, but the interviewer or the employer will ask you questions related to what you've written in your resume, right? And if you have not done the work, if you've not done that job, you won't be able to answer to the questions confidently, even if you can answer. One, you might not be able to answer, but even if you answer, you won't be confident enough to answer those questions, right? And because there is a difference between when you have done something practically, your experience is very different. Just knowing something and doing it, there's a difference, right? You might know what is required. uh, you might write something that you know about it, you must have studied about it in your course, but then when you are basically talking about it in front of the employer, talking about it, you've already done it, then that's going to be a very different thing to do. That's going to be altogether a very different thing. And then the employer in the interview will catch you in 1 second that you've not done it, you've just written it, right? For the qualifications also, do not lie in your resume. I would say be honest. That is the first thing about resumes. If you lie something, they will catch it. They will catch it very soon. All right. So never do that. Don't try that. Okay. We will discuss about it, in details later on, and do's and the don'ts and points to remember even more. But for now, you should know that you need to be honest in your resumes if you really want a job. Because if you lie, you won't get the job, right? And secondly, you will be creating a very bad impression too. Right now, you need to show and tell that you are okay. This we have already done. 1 second. Now, so like I said, that first impression is the last impression, and your resume basically helps to create the impression, as your resume is the first thing that the employer goes through when you apply for something. They've not even met you. They will meet you depending on if they like your resume or not. Right? Otherwise, they won't meet you. So if they like your resume, they'll call you for the interview. If they don't, then they won't call you. So this is why. And if your resume was interesting, the employer will already have an impression about you. If your resume was really good, the employer will be looking forward to meet you, right? Because if the resume satisfy the employers, right, they will already create an impression about you that, this person looks really perfect for this job. Let's just meet and find out more, right? And so resume basically influences the employer already, right? To some percent, maybe 20-30%, you've already made up your mind that this person is very good. Let me just go and meet, right? The impression has already been created, right? If your interview doesn't go well, that's a different issue. If you, like I just said, if you have lied in your resume to make it look good, and your interviewer catch it, that whatever you've written is not right or not true, or it doesn't seem like what it has been written in the resume, it will create a very bad impression. You won't get a job, right? So now, how do you create an impression? One, your content and presentation. That is all that matters when it comes to creating the impression. Content is basically your experience, your education qualification, what all you have done. That will create an impression. Presentation is how you present it, like whatever you have done. Maybe you are very intelligent, maybe you are a topper, maybe you've done really good jobs, but you don't know how to present on a resume. How will the other person get to know that how good you are, right? And why the person should even consider you, right? So both things are important, content and presentation. Am I clear? Why do you think people do internships? People do internships so that, one, of course, to get experience about whatever their dream job is. So to learn about that, for example, like for example, you guys, I'm like, you are into articleship, right? So along with CE, you're supposed to do articleship. Why? Because one, you would be learning the work. Second is, of course, you can write it on your resume also, no? Later on, that you have done all of this, you have an experience when you were working with so and so CA, or when you were working with so and so firm, you learned about all of this. So you can mention in your resume that you already know this work, right? And that will create a good impression. In this competitive market, it is evident that your resume creates impression. Now, when somebody takes out an advertisement for hiring, right? Somebody says that we are hiring and we're looking for, let's just say, marketing person in an organization, right? Now, this market these days is very competitive. You ask for one resume, you get 500 resumes, right, for one position, right? And I'm not kidding. This is how every market has become in these days, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a marketing person, whether it's any person that you talk about, even at a top level management also, there's so many people, and the competition is so high these days. So it is evident that your resume creates impression. Now, the person will be going through, there will be HR department who will be going through all the resumes. Now, if the resume is good, you get a chance to come and meet and the interviewers. If your resume was not good enough, you won't get called. Am I clear? Yes. Any problems? So the skill of writing a resume is even more important to learn, because now the competition is very high, and especially I think after COVID also, the competition is really high. Everybody is looking for a job. Everybody wants to do a job. Gives best possible chance of getting the employer or trainer's impression. Now, if your resume is good, I like I've always said, if your resume is good, the employer or trainer would call you right away for meeting. You know, when you send a resume, your best possibility or your expectation is that at least I should get a chance of interview to meet the person, right? um Rest will depend on how your interview was, but when you send a resume, you want to be called at least, right, to speak, right? So that is your chance of getting a interview. Otherwise, nobody calls anybody for the interview unless the resume has been sent or resume has been selected or shortlisted. Clear? Now, another feature to resume writing is cover letter. Now, any resume is incomplete without a cover letter. Now, what is a cover letter? Who will tell me? What do you understand by the word cover letter? What is a cover letter? I'm waiting. What is a cover letter? I'm sure you must have read it. They're sending you resumes with a cover letter. Is there no one who's sending the answer? You said this is your second session. Okay, can't. What is sale applications, Jagmeet? What are we selling here? Okay, your interest towards the vacancy. It's a document that is submitted with the resume. Okay. Introduces us to the organization. Okay, this is from the book. Personal introduction. Okay, good, Priyanka. Let's now discuss what cover letter is. Now, cover letter basically goes along with the resume. It is not 2-3 pages long. Please, no, no, no. It is maximum. It should be 1 page or maybe half a page, right? And it basically reflects your knowledge about the employer. It also reflects that how you got to know about this job, and it introduces you to the organization. So you briefly talk about yourself, that you have so and so experience, and then you convey your interest, that why you are interested in the company or the specific vacancy, right? Then you draw your attention to resume because you've already mentioned 2-3 highlighting points about yourself. Employer would be curious to read your resume. So whatever you write about yourself in the cover letter is very important, because in 2-3 lines you have to create an impression, like why somebody should open. Believe me, there are so many times the cover letters are so badly written that you don't even feel like opening the resumes, right? So it has to be, written neatly in a concise manner. It should be well written letter. You should not write stories and stories and stories about you. No, it should be very neat and concise. Okay, it's a well written letter that you need to write. One second. Okay, so basically the cover letter should be between 250 to 400 words. That's it. Or even a lesser would work, but not a long one. Okay, even the less words will also work, right? If you are able to satisfy all the parameters. Are we clear? Any problems that you have for cover letter? And most of the organizations ask for cover letter, right? It just gives them add-on information about you, that how you write and how interested you are in this profession. Sometimes what happens is people just send you the resume. They don't even write anything in the email also, right? So you're supposed to write in the email directly that why you are interested in this job. People just send you, they attach the resume and they just send it without writing anything, without addressing it to someone, without telling that how did they get to know about this, about this vacancy. Nothing. They just send it. Now that creates a very bad impression. That means you're just sending out the resumes randomly to all the ads, and you're responding to all the ads that you see about the jobs, right? Okay, are we clear about this? Now, next topic that we are going to do is very important for your that is important when you are going to write about your resume, right? It is about knowing yourself, right? How well you know yourself. This analysis that we're going to study about is basically how well you know yourself, right? So should we start? Ashish, if you are sending the resumes handwritten, now these days nobody sends resumes handwritten, but if you're doing the cover letter, handwritten is good. Earlier there used to be some jobs where handwriting used to matter. At that time, handwritten resumes were expected. They used to ask the people to send handwritten resumes, but these days nobody does that. So everybody's typing and sending out. Okay. Now let's study about the analysis. Okay. So we're going to read about what SWOT analysis is. Now, do we understand what SWOT analysis is? Do you have any idea what SWOT analysis is? Have you ever heard of it? So SWOT analysis basically that when you judge your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. Okay, so strengths are basically the positive forces that can help you achieve your goals. Now, what is strength in this SWOT analysis? So basically, you list down all the things that are uh, positive forces that help you achieve your goals. Now, weaknesses is something that holds you back from achieving your goals. Opportunities is that can help you improve your situation. What are opportunities can actually help you? And threats are the factors that could negatively affect your business or career perspectives. Okay. So you basically do this analysis about yourself so that you are able to make a decision that what you want to do in your life. Okay. You can actually do SWOT analysis for a lot of things in life, for your job, of course, for yourself. At times when you're confused with your career, maybe you are, you are scared to choose what you want to do. Okay, are we clear about this? Yes. So basically, I'm going to teach you what SWOT analysis is. Then we will be doing your individual SWOT analysis so that you understand that what is something that makes your strength, something that is your weakness, something that opportunity that can help you improve your situation, and threats that something or any emotion or any opinion, anything negative that affects your business or career prospects. Like, what are you scared of? Are we clear? Yes. All right. Now, this is how you do a SWOT analysis. You basically make a box. You write strengths, you write weaknesses, you write opportunities, and you write threats. This is how the SWOT analysis is done. Now, this is a template. Now, in strengths, we write what do we do well in? What do our customers say we do well? What is your unique selling proposition? So these are basic different things. For your for your different stages of life, you can do SWOT analysis. It's a basic template, like what you basically write in your strengths, right? So if you are a brand, then you need to write it. Do we have a strong brand awareness, customer loyalty? Then you need to talk, if you're a businessman already, you talk about it. What are your strengths in terms of supplier, distributor, influencer relationships? What are your assets? What are your skills that the competitors don't have? What is your strong capital? Do our profit margins compare to the industry benchmark? So you basically list down your strength when it comes to your business, about your job, about yourself. Right? What am I good at? What is one skill I have that makes me better than everybody else, right? Maybe I am somebody who can take the challenges positively. I'm not scared of any challenges. That is my strength. I can keep my calm and still do it. Maybe discipline is your strength because you're so disciplined at what you're doing. You just get into it to achieve your goals. That is your strength, right? So basically, you list down everything that helps you positively to achieve your goals, right? Then comes your weaknesses. Weaknesses is that something that basically makes you weak, right? So things that you need to work on, right? Like, where can I improve? Where am I lacking when it comes to work? Like, for example, if it's about your business, what do our customers frequently complain about? Now, weakness is something that you can overcome with some more efforts. Which objections are hard to address? Are we new or not well known? Do we have any limitations in distribution? I mean, anything that you need to work upon. That is your weakness, right? It is basically holding you back from achieving your goals. But if you put in efforts, you can turn it into your strengths also. Now, next comes the opportunity. Now, opportunity is basically something that can improve your situation. Something, if that happens, it makes your position better. It helps you to achieve your goal, right? So, do our competitors have any weakness we could benefit from? Target market growing or shifting in our favor? Is there any untapped pain? What is something that can help me boost my confidence? So you write about the opportunities there. Now comes the threats. Now, what is your threat? Something that can negatively affect you, right? So maybe a new competition in the market, new competitors. Is your target audience shrinking? Could any direct competitor become a direct competitor? So you basically talk about क्या आपको किस चीज से डर लग सकता है, किस चीज से आपका business effect हो सकता है. That is a SWOT analysis that you do for yourself. Are we clear? Any confusion that we have so far? So SWOT analysis, basically strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. Yes, it's a part of strategic planning. It helps you to identify your abilities. Okay, yes, that's right. So basically it helps you to highlight or find out about yourself, that what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are your opportunities, and what are your threats. All right. Any questions that you have so far? It is also good to keep doing the SWOT analysis about yourself, because that actually helps you to achieve your goals. That actually makes it very clear that what are the things that are benefiting you and what are the things that are not, something that is holding you back, right? Now, this basically also enables you to assess your holistic personality. You know what holistic personalities are? Overall, that you can judge yourself as. Am I clear? Okay, I'm just going to share your study material here. 1 second. Give me a second. Okay. So SWOT analysis is part of strategic planning technique that helps you identify about yourself, about your holistic personality, right? Now, strengths and weakness are aspects with respect to your inherent acquired abilities. Now, this is something that is within you, right? Now, SWOT analysis is basically that is helpful for you and that is something that is harmful to you. But strengths and weaknesses are your basically inherited or your acquired abilities. But opportunity in terms of academic and professional breakthroughs, and threats in terms of competition, academic or professional. Now, opportunities is basically you gain in terms of your academic experience and about your professional experience, but threat is basically your competition in the market, your competition in your academics or professional. Now, anybody can do SWOT analysis, even if you're a student, basically. So, basically, you are a 12th class student and you want to top the school or exams or your district or your city. So, you basically do your SWOT analysis, like, what is my strength, what are my weaknesses, what are my opportunities, and what are my threats, and then how I can achieve my goal, right? While strengths and opportunities are helpful in achieving your objective, provided that you are able to utilize your strengths and leverage the opportunities. Now, strength and opportunity is basically it helps you to achieve your objective if you are able to utilize your strength and leverage your opportunity. By leverage your opportunities, that you're making the most out of your opportunities. Now, weaknesses and reality threats can give you a reality check as to where you stand. Okay. And it can enable you to identify the aspects you need to improve to steer ahead of others. Now, if you look at this section, this section that you can see, this basically helps you to achieve your goal together. But this section basically tells you that what will hold you back, what threats you are going to face. So basically, knowing that, you can apply your strength and opportunity to achieve your goal if you know what your weaknesses and if you know what your threats are. After this, it becomes easier for you to highlight your abilities and your skills in your resume. Once you know how to put forward your strengths, how to leverage opportunities, and how to overcome your weaknesses and threats, you can write your resume better. You are able to map your qualities, your requirements, your expectations posed by the opportunities, whether academic or professional, and apparent threats. It also propels that you persistently work towards strengthening your strength, overcome your weaknesses, and while looking for opportunities, be wary of your strengths. So basically, it also basically helps you to persistently work towards your goal using your strengths, overcoming your weaknesses. And at the same time, you're looking for the opportunity and you're also aware about your threats. So basically, it helps you to get a hold of yourself from all the perspectives. Subsequently, you can prepare your resume that is brief, clear, and complete, and most likely to be shortlisted. Are we clear? Any problem that you have? All right, guys, I'm going to take a break for 5 minutes and I'll give you a call. I'll join at 12 o'clock. All right. Hi. Is SWOT analysis clear to you guys? Okay. Okay. So now I want you to do a SWOT analysis of yourself. Okay. So you basically tell me about your strengths, your weakness, your opportunities, and your threats. Okay. Quickly start listing down just two words. I don't want like big paragraphs. Just two points each. Try to identify about yourself and write down. Let me see if you understand what SWOT analysis. This is a very helpful skill. This would actually help you in a lot of situations in life, not just professional and personal. At times in personal also, you can help use. I mean, you can actually list down and use it to make yourself a very strong person. Strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Quickly, guys. I'm going to just wait for 5 minutes. Ashish, are we discussing logo writing here or logo designing here? Okay, I have just got like what, five, six responses. Where are you all? Hi, good morning. There's someone who has just joined the class. Okay. Now, what you have written is okay, but I would like to repeat that strengths is basically, it talks about your qualities, but opportunities, it talks about that what opportunity in academics or professional things that can help you achieve your goal. Opportunity doesn't mean your inherited abilities, about your personal traits. It is about that what can actually help you. Like, for example, if you want to basically applying for a course and you get through, that would help you to grow in your life, right? And threat is basically, again, any competitor, or if there's a competition when you're applying for any course and there's a chance that you will not get through, that is threat, right? So basically, in weakness and strength, we talk about our inherited qualities, but in opportunity and threats, we're talking about the opportunity or the threat that we can get, or something that is creating hindrance in our achieving the goal, something that can stop us. Like, for example, in case of, look at the PPT again. This SWOT analysis is for the is by a businessman, right? So now look at his strengths and his weaknesses as an individual. Now, as an individual, he's doing a SWOT analysis of his business, right? So what are his strengths? That what do they do well in? What do the customers say about them? What is a unique selling proposition that they have? What is the strong brand awareness that they have? What are the skills they have? What are the profit margins that they have? This is their inner ability to grow their business. Now, what is their weakness? Weakness is that how they can improve. How they can improve on the customers' complaints. What are the objections that people are, creating or have against them, and are they new or they are well known? Is there any limitation, any resource problem that they can work on? Something that with effort they can achieve, right? But now the opportunity is in the outside world. The opportunity is that how the competitors have the weakness. I mean, like how they can benefit from their competitors' weakness. What is the target market that is growing in there? If that is growing in their favor or not, is an upcoming event that they could benefit from. So that is an opportunity. If they go in that event, they showcase their product that might help in their business. Are there geographic expansion opportunities? Like, is there any geographic area where they can actually do good business? Like, for example, if somebody is selling winter wear, right? So now they would like to see that where is their market that will actually help them achieve good sales, right? And in which months, right? Now, there are few states that have no market for winter wear. There are few markets that has seasonal market, but there are few areas that has demand throughout the year, almost throughout the year, about 10 months in a year. So that is the kind of opportunity that they have where they need to target for their sales. But now the threat is from the outside world. Are there new competitors in the market? Is the target market shrinking? Is there indirect customer? What is the trend going on? What is the social political trend? Like, is there any political influence or political changes create a lot of problem for the businesses? You know that, right? The tax system changes, rules changes, the state rules changes. So that kind of a threat that they have. Okay, some people say that elections are going to come, there's going to be new government, the changes are going to happen. So that is a threat that they have. You don't know what new rules may be introduced or what rules may be removed, right? And any new technology that could work against them, right? Now, for example, they have a staff, they have a labor who's working on some particular product, but somebody else gets a machine or a new technology to make the same thing happen in lesser time, right? And with more perfection. Again, that is a threat to your business, right? This is what SWOT analysis is. What you have done is you've confused strengths and opportunities and weaknesses with threats. No. If you look at here also in your study material, sorry. Now, this chart says strengths and weaknesses are internal within the organization or within yourself. Like, you understand within the organization what is the strength and what is the weakness that we have as an organization. Opportunities and threats are always external. What are the external factors that might turn out to be opportunity for you, or what might turn out to be threat for you? Are we clear? Okay. Now let's move on. And in resume writing, we will be discussing 3 types of resumes. Okay. Now in resume writing, we talk about three types of resumes. Now, three types of resumes have different objective. It also has different format for writing the resume, right? Now, every resume will have a different focus. Every resume has their own disadvantages and advantages. You have to choose from which job you are applying for. What is more important to you? Is your experience more important? Your skills are more important? I mean, it depends on what kind of a employer or organization that you're trying for. What did they look in one person? Right? So you do your little bit of homework and you understand, and sometimes you understand from the job description also that what they are actually looking for. So the three types are chronological, functional, and combination resume, right? So we'll discuss all three kinds one by one. I will show you the formats and we'll discuss that what each resume actually means. Now, to give you an overview, chronological resume. First one is the chronological. Can you see the left side column, the first column? Yeah, so we have chronological resume, we have functional resume, and we have combination resume. Now, all three has a different perspective, right, and different purpose. Now, of course, we are applying for a job, and all three has to go for the job application. But then, in the chronological order, you list your work history in the reverse order, starting from your current job or most recent job to working backwards. So basically, you start with what is your current job, what did we do, and then we move forward backwards, right? In functional or skill-based resume, you focus on skills and strength important to the employer. You omit specific dates, you names, places, de-emphasize on spotty work history. So you just work on that what all work you have done. You do not talk about the dates, you don't talk about the names and places, right? But in chronological, you basically mention with whom you have worked and for how long, right? Combination resume is blends the flexibility and strength of other two types of resume. Now, combination resume is basically the combination of chronological and functional resume. Are we clear? This is the basic of what these three resumes are. Then comes the advantage in the chronological resume. It is easy to write. It emphasizes and study employment record. Employers like to see job titles. I'm talking about the advantage of chronological resume. And level of responsibility and dates of your work history. So it's easy to write. You can just list down one by one what you have done. It emphasizes on the steady employment record. Steady employment record means that you are basically focusing on that you worked with so-and-so person and so-and-so organization for how long, right? Your focus is to tell the person that you are a steady kind of a person. You don't move out easily. You don't shift. You stick to one organization for a long time, right? Because you believe in gaining experience from one place, right? Employers like to see job titles, level of responsibility, and dates of your work history. So now, this kind of employer basically focus on where all you have worked, which all brand names you worked with, which all profiles that you worked with, what was your level of responsibility, like, what was your title and designation there, and what was your dates of your work history. Like, for example, you work from November 2022 to November 2023. So it creates a good impression that, oh, you were with organization for 1 year. I hope you know that people have this kind of a mindset that if you leave a job from one place before 1 year, that means you're not a steady kind of a person. You would just like to change, because it takes a lot of time to understand an organization, to understand your job profile, to understand and get used to of that organization. So it is believed that before 1 year, there's hardly anything that you've learned from an organization. So people take it in a negative sense if you leave it before 1 year at least. Yes. People look for steadiness in you, that yes, you will be sticking to them for a long time, and because they will be investing their time in you, and they would like to believe that you will be with them for a long time. This is why, because an employer is also making an investment in you, right? It's not that they're just taking work from you, they're also giving you an opportunity, right? Now, in the what are the disadvantages of chronological resume? It calls attention to employment gaps. Skills can be difficult to spot unless they're listed in the most recent jobs. Now, what happens is that if there is employment gap, like for example, for 2 years, I couldn't work for some reason. And when I go back, so somewhere my history of work will be highlighted that there's a gap in the, because timeline is very important in chronological resume. Nobody will look at my skills and how good I am with the job. They will just like to focus on that I had a long gap in my career. Am I clear? Yes. Now, where chronological resume is best used, it is used to emphasize past career growth and development in the same career, or when the name of the former employer may be significant. So basically, it highlights, if you want to highlight the name of the employer, that you worked with so and so brand name. So, for example, you've worked with LG or Samsung, you would like to highlight that you were in their marketing team or you were in their auditing team, whatever. So, that also creates impression that you were with such a big firm, and you have been with them, you've learned that kind of work. So that creates an impression. Am I clear? Yes. So I'm going to take one by one. Are you clear about the chronological resume? Let's just discuss the format also. Is there any doubt with chronological resume? Okay. Now, when you should not use a chronological resume, you should not use it when you have a gap in your work history, right? And when you don't want somebody to look at your age, could be a problem. Like, and there's some jobs that they focus on their age also. They have age criteria for applying the jobs. And if you don't want to focus on your career gap or age, you should not use the chronological resume. or you have changed the jobs often. Like I said, the timeline and the timing and the dates are very important in this resume. So if you are somebody who changes the job very frequently in profiles too, don't use this kind of a format. Or if you are entering in the market for the first time, because in that case, you won't have much to write. So it's preferable, don't use this kind of a resume. Use it once you have, some experience to write on. Right. Now let's look at the resume format. Now, resume writing will come in your exam. So please make sure that you look at this very carefully. Can you see? Okay. So the chronological one has the headings on the top, right? It has name and the contact details. Then it has objective summary. Objective summary is that what is your objective goal in life, right? Then it comes to academic qualifications and achievements. Okay, now this is chronological format for the students, right? Somebody who's applying for the first time, maybe, right? If you have something interesting to showcase. So you have academic qualifications, achievements, you have co-curricular achievements, what all you have achieved. You have training programs attended, you have strengths, interests, hobbies, skills, optional. Now, this could be, optional. So in case you feel something you are really good at, then only mention, otherwise don't, right? And then your personal details. Like your birthday and everything, right? Your age, your birthday and everything. Are we clear? Then we have chronological format for the job applicants, right? Now in the job applicants, you basically have the name and the contact details. Then you have objective summary. Then you have a career summary, like what you worked in, how has been your career so far. Then you have a professional experience, job one, where you explain about your job title, responsibilities, and achievement. Then you have number of companies that you worked with, you basically start listing down to them in a reverse order from the latest to the previous one. And then you talk about your education details, your hobbies, and your personal details. Are we clear about these two formats? I don't think there is anything difficult to even understand. Do you want to see it once again? So chronological resume is the most commonly used, of course. It lists your most recent work or education history in reverse chronological order, with your most recent work or education history listed on the top. So for example, you have taken, after your 12th, you have done 2 degree courses, right? So you will start from your, the latest one till your class 10th, right? Your 10th will not come up. So you know that people list down their 10th marks and their 12th marks, and then they put their, graduation and the post-graduation. So you will start with post-graduation, graduation, 12th, and then 10th. Are we clear? Yes, in reverse chronological order. Clear? Okay, now let's look at one of the examples. Okay, now this is a chronological format wherein you write about your name, your address, your phone number, your email ID, right? Then there is an objective, right? The objective says that to be associated with an organization that will offer to me tremendous opportunities, right? For growth in career and provide a challenging environment that will utilize my accounting skills and abilities to the maximum. Are we clear? So this is about the objective that, my objective, the job objective is that to be with an organization that offer me opportunities for growth in career and provide a challenging environment that will utilize my accounting skills and abilities to the maximum, right? Now, next comes is the professional summary, which is that what all you have done so far in your life. So this person says that more than 13 years of experience in both practical and managerial aspects of job, possess a flawless understanding of fundamental concepts of accounting, exceptionally good at application of accounting concepts in a varied manner, extensive experience in accounting practices to explore the various facets of the economy, excellent communication and comprehension skills, in-depth knowledge of foreign skills and trade policies followed by various nations across the world. So basically, this person understands and whatever 13 years of professional experience, whatever he has learned and whatever he's excelled in, he has mentioned the 5 points. That he has experience in practical managerial aspects of job. That means he has done both kind of work. He has flawless understanding of accounting concepts. He is clear with all the concepts, whatever the main concepts are. Exceptionally good at application of accounting concepts in varied manner. Extensive experience in accounting practices. Excellent communication comprehension skills, which is very important for any job. In-depth knowledge of foreign policies, trade policies followed by various nations across the world. That means this person has worked with a lot of companies that deal with international clients, right? Okay, now let's look at the experience of this person. He says that from 2004 till now, I am chartered accountant who has also worked with audit taxation department as a chartered accountant. And these are the experience that I've gone through, and like this is the experience that I've gained. This is the work that I've done till now from there. Now, 2004 to present means that I have not left the job yet. Yes, I'm still with them, right? Maybe you are on a notice period. Maybe you will leave it once you get another job, right? So it says 2004 to present, right? Now it talks about the job title. It talks about which department the person is in. Then it talks about the name of the auditing firm or the firm, and then the place where the person has worked. So it could be possible that somebody has gone from one job to another and changed cities also, right? So you should mention the cities if in case you change the cities frequently. Then comes, he says that from 2001 to 4, I have worked with direct taxation department. Now, interqualified chartered accountant. When I was as an interqualified, I was working with the job taxation department, direct taxation department. This was the firm, and this is the area that I was working with, right? So you're saying as an inter student, I was working with them. Clear? Yes. Now it talks about the education. 2004, final was clear. 2001, CAPC was clear. 1998, CPT was cleared. In 2000, he cleared BCom Pass from Hansraj College. In 1997, so you're moving backward in terms of education. Class 12th, it was CBSE, and then this. Now, if you see, the no marks are mentioned here, right? The focus is that in which year what was done. Clear? Yes. Now, school's name is mentioned, the area is mentioned, the city is mentioned. It is very important to mention, right? Skills. Now, this person talks about that what kind of skills I have, right? So he's well versed with MS Office, working knowledge of Tally, complete compulsory 250 hours of computer training as per ICA curriculum schedule, updated with all the latest computer applications and softwares, right? These are very, so this person has written these skills because he thinks that these skills will help him to get another job. These skills are important for his job profile. So this is why he's mentioning, like he's not saying that I am very good at dancing, right? That is, how is that going to help you for your job as a CA, right? So he's already only mentioning about those skills, or probably he's good with cooking also, right? So he's not mentioning about that, right? Because that is not, you're not applying for a job of executive chef here. For a CA, these all skills are important, and this is why he's writing these skills. Now comes the personal details, which says that date of birth, marital status, languages known, and permanent address. Yeah. Are we clear? And then there's a declaration that you basically are giving a declaration that this above information is true and correct from your knowledge, best of your knowledge and belief. Then date and place and you sign. Are we clear? Like somebody asked me in the beginning that what if we write something which is not true? Now, there are two things. One is that if you align, the interviewer will catch, because then your knowledge will not be according to what you have written on your resume. Right? You won't be able to justify if you write big words and big kind of experience, but when you start speaking, you don't know because you do not do it practically, right? One. Second is, at times, people do reference checks. Like, for example, I have written this firm's name and I worked with them. And a lot of companies actually call back to your previous organization and check, was this person with you? How was this person? Why this person left you? And they basically do your background checks, right? Lot of organizations, I would say, do this, right? Because they want to be sure of whom they are hiring, right? And they believe that, yes, a lot of people can lie also that we were with this organization just to use their name, right? Especially in terms of big brand names. So people tend to lie, right? But a lot of companies, without even asking you, they will call and they do their reference checks. Are we clear? Yes? Okay. Now take a moment and ask me if there is any problem that you have. Nishit, I don't understand what you mean. If you study 12 hours a day, you also make notes and keep revising them, be clear. Figure what? CPT, foundation? You can, I'm sure you can. Uh, so you need to write the date on which you are applying and place from where you're applying. So probably you are applying for a job in Bombay. So you can basically mention that you are still in Delhi right now. All right. Okay. So are we clear till here? Everybody's clear with what resume is, what SWOT analysis is, what cover letter is. What are the three types of formats? We will be discussing the other two in the other class. But I'm going to finish today's class with a question which is about the chronological format. Uh, in case there is still any doubt, ask me. Otherwise, 10 minutes, I will be discussing that in last 10 minutes. No, Priyanka, it is not compulsory. Mentioning skills are not, I mean, important. Like, for example, educational qualification, your professional, your objectives, your personal details are very important. But skills is subjective. I mean, like, if you want to, you can. Otherwise, it's fine, even if you don't want to mention it. Okay, I'm going to show you one question which is from study material. I want you to try write the resume in a chronological format. And this is the kind of question will be asked in your exams as well. Okay, question number 5. University of Mumbai has an advertisement that walk-in interview online applications are invited for the part-time accounts post in the university department, purely on temporary basis for the period of 11 months. Interested and qualified candidates are requested to be present at the University of Mumbai Convocation Hall at their own cost. Last date is this. Details are to be available on the website. Now, when you go for an interview, you should always carry a copy of your resume in your hand. Okay. Always, you should have a printout of your own resume in your hand. Maybe they have it, maybe they don't have it, but you should be ready with your resume if they don't have it. Right. So when you go for such an interview, you're supposed to take your resume along with a covering letter with you. So covering letter we'll discuss in the next class. Let's try to uh, write down the resume. So what all things will you mention in the resume? Um, and how you will actually make your own resume for such a post. Quickly, you have only 5 minutes. Just be very quick. Quickly send in your responses, please. Mhm. Have you read the question? Can I stop the screen sharing to look at your responses? And otherwise, I'm sure you all have your study materials. It's question number 5 from the practice session. Mhm. Shubham, I think the schedule is uploaded on the ICI's website. So that's how you get to know. I think there's a students column also and announcements also. So you can just check on the website. The schedule is always uploaded there. And the next class with me is on 31st now, 31st January, where we will be completing this chapter. Wait, what you want from the industry? I don't know what it means. Quickly, I have not got anything till now. Okay, look at the answer here. Okay, look here. So there is this person who's trying to apply for this position, and the objective is to serve as a part-timer to be able to devote time for studies, because it's limited time period job. So that's the objective. Now the skills are that you are proficient in accounting, valuation, good skills, drafting, good analytical. Well, but this is what you know because you are a student right now, right? You do not have any professional experience. You're supposed to list down this first, then you comes the qualifications. Okay, and then comes your personal details. So your resume will be very small because it's a part-timer position. It is not a full-time position, and you yourself are not clear. You're not a CA. So this one says pursuing CA final, because this job post was also for an accountant, not for a CA. If you have read the ad. Yeah, here. Right? And it is a temporary base and it is a part-time position. For a part-time position, you don't need to be a CA, right? And you might be pursuing your studies and at the same time you're working also, right? So that resume is resume that is made by a student. This is what we understand, that they're looking for an application for part-time. Okay, and then accounts post in the university department, and it's a purely temporary base. It's just for 11 months. Interested candidates, students can apply. Are we clear? Yes. Now, are we clear for this? That's how you write the resume for the chronological auto one, right? We will be discussing more in the next class. I hope whatever was taught today was clear to you, and I will see you on 31st now when we will finish the chapter. Right, so I think we'll call it for the day, and I'll meet you on 31st, and we'll discuss about the rest of the 2 types of resumes and their functionalities and how do we make it, and then we'll just practice how we can write the resumes in a different way. Just let me know how was today's class, if everything was clear to you, and I'll see you on 31st now. Bye-bye.